This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, and for those of you who have been watching this channel for quite some time now, you will know that we've been very critical of Justin Trudeau's immigration policy, mainly because of his virtue-signaling, grandstanding way of going about things. We knew this was inevitably going to lead to problems, and lo and behold, here we are. Right now there are thousands of migrants, mostly of Haitian descent, crossing into Canada through the Quebec border seeking asylum. And if this was, people fleeing a war-torn country or, women and children, that'd be different. But this is men, criminal thugs seeking to engage in illegal activity. And in fact, we now have the proof that this is happening in Quebec, because joining me on the line today is our good friend Leigh Stewart. She was just recently in Quebec and she managed to have a bit of a conversation with some of these Haitian migrants at the Quebec border. So we're going to get all her views on that. But before we do, let's take a quick look at the video she just released 4 days ago of a conversation that she had with some of these Haitian migrants at the Quebec border.
Am I married? No. Are you married?
No. Hold on. I see, man. Maybe, man, this
He want married.
Oh, I see. I see.
We are looking the woman to marry. Yeah. I'm asking now the relationship with good body, good person in Canada. I'm here with one woman here. She can.
Then you're a resident tomorrow.
She can help me as my reason. Yeah. I can nice the married with the commercial married. You understand? Commercial business.
Commercial?
Yeah. For example, I pay you, you married with me, you give me my resident card. No, in United States, much people, Haitian people, as that.
You get money?
Yeah, with the American woman.
Oh, the one that you were with in.
For example, the American woman.
Yeah.
Get the money.
Yeah.
She married. With this married.
Yeah.
She give me the resident card. After separation.
Hey.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That I want this woman, but it's difficult.
It is.
Wow, difficult. Your boyfriend, he don't married. He don't married with you.
Not yet.
You
No.
You don't want. He love you, but you can give the response. Yeah, you can give him your opinion.
Well, I have a boyfriend, so.
No, he know.
Oh, that doesn't matter, right?
He can, for example, he can love you. You don't love, or you are busy with your boyfriend. You give the response. Yeah, I'm busy. I have my boyfriend. Not problem.
No problem.
No problem.
All right, well, that was pretty telling, pretty revealing to say the least. Now, Leigh, you recently, you just got back. You were down at the Quebec border, managed to capture some of that on film. Tell us a little bit about what your experience was down there. This is groundbreaking stuff you've uncovered. Just lay it out for us. What happened when you went there to investigate in Quebec?
Well, I've been following this very closely because I'm, as a Canadian citizen, very concerned about what's going on in Quebec. I decided to take it upon myself. I found out where they were harboring these migrants, so-called migrants. I decided to take it upon myself to go and investigate. I don't trust the media, so I found out one of the locations they were at, which is in Cornwall at the NAV Center, what I like to call the resort and spa, because that's exactly what it is. When I walked in there, it was like full amenities spa, swimming pool, workout room, and they're staying there on the Canadian taxpayers' dollar. And so I decided, to take a walk around there, and actually ran into these two migrants who were quickly, starting conversation with me, asking me where I'm from, if I'm interested in marriage, if I'm interested in getting married, and they proposed to me the idea of commercial marriage, which is also known as human trafficking. It's to pay money for marriage in return for, you know, a status in Canada, for a sponsorship, basically,
Right.
for residency in Canada.
And as we saw in the clip, they were even, you know, suggesting that, you know, part of the plan would be to separate from this girl later down the road, you know, so that it's totally just a sham wedding.
Yeah, they actually, the one migrant told me that he had done the same thing in the United States. He had already been married in the United States with another woman, and a year later had split up after he got his residency in the United States.
Well, a lot of these people are coming from the United States because of a potential ban coming from Donald Trump, which may not even be a real thing, in fact. But this is what's going on. So what is the Canadian government doing about this, or at least the police and the RCMP at the border, from your perspective of what you've seen in Quebec? How are they dealing with the situation?
They're actually assisting the migrants coming over. I mean, they're carrying their luggage. The border there is basically a ravine, and it's a makeshift tent where illegals are coming over and then being arrested intentionally, and then, you know, the border guards there are assisting them over, like I said, carrying their luggage, and even providing them with loopholes of how they can apply for asylum, and as long as a refugee or quote unquote asylum seeker is coming over here, as long as their status is pending, or if they're appealing their refusal, they're allowed to use any amenities that any other Canadian can use, which is on the taxpayer's dollar, which is what I'm upset about. We're actually rewarding these people who are coming over illegally, getting arrested, and then, you know, paying for the consequences later on, potentially, or, you know, being granted a temporary working visa.
Well, as I understand it, a lot of the people are being encouraged to get flat out onto the welfare system. You know, they're being encouraged to milk and use this Canadian system here in that regard. And we've seen an increase over the last, I would say, month, maybe month and a half. Do you know what the numbers are like? I mean, I think I heard that there are 200 to 300 a day crossing into Montreal. Is that figure correct, and or is that increasing now?
They say that the numbers have actually tripled from 7,000 in July. So whatever that number is, I mean, this whole thing started with Justin Trudeau's tweet, you know, basically welcoming anyone with open arms. And, you know, it circulated on an app called WhatsApp, where Haitians were told that they would be accepted here on the Canadian's dollar. And yeah, it's $649 per month per person, or $189 per four in a family. And that's a month. So that's what, $2.5 million, you know, are going to be granted to these asylum seekers, I put in quotation marks, over the next 3 days, are going to be handed out at the end of this month.
You see, this is why more governmental intervention just causes more and more problems. I think there are probably some migrants who are seeking asylum here legitimately, and I would leave it to the private sector as opposed to the public sector in order to deal with this situation properly. Because in my experience and with people I've interviewed, we find that it's the private sector through you know, private little churches and private little family groups who sponsor families over here. That's how people get properly integrated into society. That's how people get saved from war-torn countries. That's how we can help people come into Canada who will actually contribute to society. So what I think we need to see is a separation from the government handling this situation, because would you agree? I mean, it seems the more they get involved, the more this becomes a mess. I mean, I think there's a huge backlog now, going back as far as the mid-90s, is being getting worse and worse and worse. And the more the government opens their arms to immigrants, and now we have illegal immigrants coming in, just the worse it's going to get.
Yeah, can you just repeat the last question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. It's just, I guess it wasn't even much of a question, I suppose. It was more of a statement about the current state of the situation here in Canada. About, there is the problem with people fleeing war-torn countries. That is an issue, but we have to properly vet these people. And I was just talking about the private versus the public sector, just seeing if you would agree with the fact that how about we just leave the government out of this and leave it up to the private sector to handle
Right.
how we're going to integrate these people into society.
Okay, yeah, and even apply for residency legally. I mean, these refugees that are coming over, and they're not even refugees. I don't even know what to call them. I think they're economic migrants. But it would be the proper term. And Justin Trudeau has called them irregulars instead of illegals. I mean, to do it properly, to apply before even coming here and then seeing if you're approved, that's the actual proper way to do it. And actually, there was a doctor in Montreal who took it upon himself to go to the Supreme Court in Quebec and try and get the makeshift border in Quebec closed for these migrants coming over, because it's what's happening there is illegal. And the court actually overturned it and said, we're not going to touch something that is supposed to be left up to politicians to make the law. So what they're saying in essence is that, the politicians are above the court system.
Yeah. Well, in this current politically correct culture, it's a pretty unpopular stance to take to suggest that something must be done at the border. But as you said, when these are people engaging clearly in illegal activity, trying to come here to carry out criminal acts such as meeting someone like you, having a sham wedding, getting a residency card, having a divorce, and then becoming a permanent resident. I mean, it's unbelievable. Any final thoughts on where you think we need to move here as a country? I mean, Justin Trudeau continues, it seems, to virtue signal and be like he's the all-encompassing, hey, we love everybody, we're all just one big happy family. Where do you think we need to go moving forward as a nation in terms of our immigration policy?
Well, this is a dangerous, very slippery slope we're facing here, because we saw this exact same thing happen in Athens, Greece, where hundreds of thousands of migrants were being housed at their Olympic Stadium on their way to Greece and Sweden. I mean, we're seeing numbers triple and quadruple. I mean, what is the solution? Do we just stop paying our taxes? Because our taxes are what's funding this. I don't even know what the solution is, and it's very terrifying, because I mean, look at Europe now. We're seeing it fall apart before our very eyes. What is next? I mean, I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. What can I suggest? Stop paying your taxes. Maybe write to your Congress. But that's also turning to the government. I mean, are they really on our side? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree. I mean, I think that's fantastic advice. Just stop contributing to this in any way, shape, or form. Stop paying your taxes. Stop voting in these warmongers who are pushing these agendas, and move towards the grassroots, bottom-up approach. That's why I strongly encourage people to get involved with their local communities. There's a lot of church groups and things of that nature who will sponsor people who are fleeing war-torn countries and who do need that help. So I think that's great advice. Let's take it, remove the power out of the hands of the government to be involved in any way, shape, or form, whether it's through funding it with our tax dollars or through voting in these people with our votes. We gotta vote with their mind, vote with their dollar, and hopefully we can turn this country around, and figure out how to properly deal with the people who do need help, as opposed to these criminals who are coming here to seek to engage in illegal activities. So, Leigh, once again,
How much money? How much money was it that Trudeau gave to the Clinton Foundation?
hundreds of millions. I believe it was it's like 27 or 25 or something directly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is what happens. They'll squander your tax dollars to the things that they shouldn't be going to. Let's just keep it to ourselves and put it into the private sector where we can actually achieve the things we want to achieve.
Right. It looks like Canadians are going to have to take their country back in their own hands because our prime minister isn't going to do it. Let's face it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the bottom line. We got to stop looking to the government to solve the problems that have been created by the government. So where can people find this video? Shoot out your channel and any other links where if people want to find how they can learn more from you.
Well, I'm sure you're going to link my channel in the description below, but my channel, if you just type into YouTube, LEIGHSTEWY, all one word, my YouTube will come up, and I'm also on Twitter with that same name. I'm more active on Twitter than I am on YouTube, let's be honest, but I'm just starting to post videos on BitChute because of the YouTube purge, obviously.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, good call. I'm also on BitChute, and I follow you on YouTube and Twitter, and I would strongly encourage everyone else to do the same. I will definitely have links in the description below. Be sure to check them out. Once again, Leigh, great work uncovering what you did there in Quebec, and keep up the great work.
You too, Dan. Thank you so much.